Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Stay on Target, Games Radar Plus's weekly Star Wars show. You might notice that the surroundings are a little bit different today because we are live at ComicCon. Well, live-ish. You can see the con going on behind us because Star Wars is a very big deal at ComicCon. We've also got a special guest, R2-D2. This is the Games Radar Plus Loot Crate stand. And with me today are Rosie Fletcher of Total Film and SFX, Dave Bradley of Total Film and SFX. I'm Richard Edwards, I'm the editor of SFX, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars at Comic-Con. Now, there was the big Hall H panel on Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
Which was the thing that everybody was really excited about. Was it what we were expecting?
Underwhelming. Underwhelming. Yes, so there's a lot of build-up. Disney announced that they weren't going to be bringing any Marvel product here, but there was going to be a Star Wars panel. Everyone was really psyched. People were queuing for 24 hours, and then, lo and behold, no footage.
Well, there was a tiny bit of footage, but no trailer. That was the thing we hoped. We had hoped that there'd be.
I think that's the big thing. So everyone was expecting a trailer, but instead we got a sort of video about the making of, almost just a few things from behind the scenes. About 3 minutes, 40 seconds, something like that. Yeah. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit more. But what else? We got loads of cast, didn't we?
Right, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Harrison Ford, who's royalty, he was there. But as well as that, I mean, it's a perfect chance for everyone to see the cast. But it's what I think that made it stand out from other panels this year was what they did with the audience. I mean, that's what got all the
finale.
news.
I mean, okay, they didn't get a trailer, but they did all get marched off. This 6,500 people marched off to a concert of John Williams' music.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, can we remember anything like that happening at Comic-Con?
No, well, not since Edgar Wright marched a bunch of people down the street to watch Scott Pilgrim. That's the kind of thing that attracts headlines. So I guess that was what was on there. But they were all given a gift of a lightsaber as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
So that's
what an amazing day out.
Although anecdotally, I was in a panel yesterday hosted by Chris Albert, who's the guy who'd hosted the same panel, and he said, so it was amazing, and the audience all get marched out, and then I get a text off Kevin Smith saying, oh, by the way, my panel's just after the Star Wars one, make sure everyone sticks around.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it wiped out Hall H, yeah, absolutely. But you could hear the fireworks at the end of that concert from all over town, and I think everyone in San Diego knew that Star Wars was going on.
There wasn't actually that much news come out of it, though, was it? I mean, it was the first time we'd found out who Donald Gleason is playing. We know that he's a bad guy and he's playing General Hux. Yeah. And he let slip that the First Order are based off Starkiller Base, which is a
Starkiller Base. What a name to conjure with.
But I mean, there wasn't really that much else, was there? I mean, it was very short on actual news.
Yeah, it was. They didn't reveal very much else. But it was nice to see Donald Gleason and understand what he's there, because of course his co-star Oscar Isaac was in Ex Machina with him. So there's a couple of familiar faces right there.
And also, of course, we've got this footage reel that we saw, this sort of behind-the-scenes stuff. There was a little bit more to it than that, wasn't there? Because there were a few clues about what we might see if you look very closely. I mean, we'll talk about those more in next week's episode. But I mean, what excited you most about what you saw?
Some of the creatures were quite cool. I thought we saw some people working with maquettes and some of the built-up creatures, which were quite interesting.
And because I'm such a sucker for this and such a sci-fi geek, I'm excited about all the spaceships. And there was a lot of spaceships at it. You saw that the gimbal, I guess, is what you call it, where the people are sitting in the cockpit and fighting around. You saw the artwork of the crashed TIE fighter, the black TIE fighter in the desert. I mean, that was very exciting, and I get off on all that stuff.
I mean, there was very much a theme. I thought of just saying, we are doing this for real. We are filming this with real stuff. I mean, that came to come up again and again.
I think every segment had, here's real makeup, here's Peter Mayhew with the mask off, here's us building something. They had a lot of the behind-the-scenes people speaking were actually carpenters and that kind of thing, saying, I come into work every day and I make the Millennium Falcon. Just emphasising it's real.
And also Simon Pegg is definitely in it, dressed as some kind of alien, having said that he wasn't.
Well, yeah, or maybe he was just like the mascot or delivering some hot dogs or something like that. We don't know what that was. It was just some kind of...
Yes, not that much of a surprise, though, given his connection with J.J. Abrams. Now, there was a little bit that they said that the Gareth Edwards anthology movie, Rogue One, is going to film in 3 weeks. And before the con started, there was also a big bit of news that we found out what the second anthology movie, due in 2018, is going to be about. Now, it's Han Solo.
Han Solo, absolutely.
Now, how do you feel about a Han Solo prequel?
Well, who's going to play a young Han is the question on everyone's lips, I guess.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, but he's not young enough,
No,
surely.
he's not young enough. He's not young enough.
Oh, he actually must be the same age as Harrison Ford was in the original movie. So
there were the rumours kicking around for ages that the kid out of Kingsman would be an ideal choice.
Yeah,
for him.
Taron Egerton,
Yeah.
who I actually really rate. I thought he was very good in Kingsman. He's got that kind of slightly roguish element to him. He's actually, in person, he's actually extraordinarily well spoken. But
Really?
he's still, he's extremely articulate and very kind of.
maybe Lucasfilm will just be running a lot of people out in waistcoats just to see how they can carry that off.
Yeah, I wasn't invited, but however, we speculate on who's doing it. Seems to me that the exciting news about the Han Solo film is the directors, right? And it's the guys who were famous for 21 Jump Street.
Right, so Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who
They
did...
are sort of the hottest property in Hollywood at the moment, aren't they? After Lego
absolutely.
movie,
Lego movie, which of course was amazing. And
doing a DC movie, they're going to be doing The Flash. So, I mean, interesting choice.
Yeah. Well, again, it indicates, I guess, a really strong vein of comedy, because I think that's what they...
Right.
So lots of comedy and lots of heart. I mean, 21 Jump Street was a massive surprise to everyone. It was I think everyone thought it was going to be rubbish, and actually it was brilliant and very sweet and very funny, and it was a great project for Channing Tatum. He's probably too old, isn't he, Channing Tatum? I think that's a very positive move. Again, I think all of so with Ryan Johnson doing Episode 8, Gareth Edwards doing Rogue One, it's interesting to see that these younger, more more current directors, I guess, are getting a look in with this. I think if this is, because again, of course, if it's a Han Solo movie, what you don't want is something really po-faced and really I don't know, too kind of portentous, but something...
Aronofsky's Han Solo.
Han Solo running around shooting people first.
Although, yes, let's do that. But but the fact is, actually, there's a lot of comedy in Star Wars. There needs to be. These directors, actually, that's a really good choice, as well as the fact they were very inventive. The Lego movie is genius in a lot of ways. But also, there has to be comedy. We had Kieran Gillen here at the Games Radar Plus Loot Crate stand during the week, and he was talking about his work on the Darth Vader comic, and it's actually quite light in places. And he said that's one of the ingredients. You can't do a Star Wars story without there being a vein of humour in it somewhere. So, so of course.
Well, yes, because it is, although, yes, okay, big themes, and it's very important, it is also... quite a wild science fiction romp isn't the right word, but it's not Terrence Malick, for example.
Right.
Hopefully not. I do not think I would want to see it.
Wouldn't that be awful? Wouldn't that just be the worst? Well, again, maybe not for you guys, but for me, I'd be like, oh God, this is so boring.
But the annoying thing about Han Solo is I sort of don't feel I need to see the young Han Solo.
No, I mean, he kind of arrives fully formed, doesn't he?
Yeah, although there were the famous 3-star Han Solo novels that came out in the 80s, which I actually read and enjoyed, which were about his life as a smuggler before he joined in the Rebel Alliance. But I was quite amused. There was the Daily Mash website did a spoof story today where they said the backstory of Han Solo. It's been incredible about how he's hired to go and rescue a princess from the Death Star and ends up fighting in the Battle of Yavin. We've longed to see that cast. Yeah, exactly.
And the whole revelation that he's married, of course.
Right. You're right.
Not in this,
comic
but
books, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're finding a bit more about him already.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all very exciting. ComicCon has been a blast. Lots of Star Wars stuff all over the place. Not that much longer to come out the film. I think we'd hope for a little bit more, but still very good. So, until next week when we'll be talking more about that behind the scenes footage, you stay classy, San Diego.